This is Mohammed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at Camden Boxing Club here. We're not long to go now till June 11th for Riakporhe v Tershi, IBF final eliminator in the cruiserweight division. So this is Richard's big moment. Pull this out the bag in a world title shot. Is next, surely, Ben?
Yeah, it definitely is. Obviously, we've been Richard for 12 months now. He must be one of the most active fighters in Britain. And we promised him he'd get his world title shot. And he's very, very close now. Fabio Tershi is a difficult opponent. We saw that against Tommy McCarthy. I think it's a difficult one for Richard in particular. Southpaw looks another fire's power. And that's why we feel like it's a perfect test for him. It positions him perfectly in the governing bodies. We feel like he's ready now. We think it's only a matter of time before people actually, take him. I think there's still a little bit of, he's not as good as Lawrence, and maybe people not taking him too seriously. But if he continues to knock people out and continues to improve, he's a young 31-year-old, and that's why we took a chance on him, and we think he's going to go. We really think he'll be a world champion, and he's learning boxing on the job, but he possesses that ferocious power, and I think it's a big fight for him. It's his moment, and it's the one before his world title, and we've been with him for 12 months now, as I say, and it's been amazing to watch his journey from not really getting out on cards, 18 months in inactivity really, to being headlining Sky and being bordering on world titles, so fingers crossed.
I know it's a lot of big ifs here, but should he win the eliminator, then should he win the world title? We know Lawrence Cody holds a world title in the cruiserweight division. Unification next year?
It has to be. It has to be. That's the plan. Richard needs to win a world title, and then the obvious fight is there. Like Lawrence has come through the GB system. He's a very, very technical boxer. He's an outstanding boxer. I really think he's underrated. I think he's a fantastic guy for the sport. But I think Richard is massively, massively overlooked. He's gone through everyone in the domestic. It doesn't matter how he's done it. He's done it with raw power, raw aggression, and now he's learning. As I say, he's with Angel Fernandez now, and he's had to start again. And that's very difficult. He was a boxer that started late. And now I really believe that fight will happen, and we might have two world champions in the UK on our hands, and then that's a massive, massive fight. And that's the fight Richard wants, and I believe that's a massive fight for Lawrence as well.
Absolutely is. On June 11th, we've got two fantastic fights on the card. Chris Congo against Sebastian Formella. We know how he did against Sean Bolter and Conor Benn, and we've also got an English title fight with Zach Chelly and Jermaine Brown. So talk to me about those two fights, please, Ben.
I think they're being overlooked. Formella's headlined plenty of times on big cards, and he's taken Conor Benn the distance, he's taken Sean Porter the distance, and it's a big step for Chris. I think when you lose a fight, you almost worry if you'll ever get that chance again. I've seen that so many times, and Chris has been in that camp. He thought he was on a trajectory right to world level, and he's ended up having to start again, and this is a big fight for him. Formella is his gateway to world contention. I think it's a perfect fight for him. But he's going to find it hard to break him down, and he's going to have to show something that maybe we've not seen, a bit more ring craft and a bit more, ways of opening up fighters. He's going to be a tough fighter to open up, and I think, it's a big fight. And as I say, I think it's gone under the radar because Sebastian Formella is coming to win. He believes that is his big chance. And Chelly Brown is a super interesting fight, very, very fun fight, British fight. I don't think anyone is a loser in that fight. I think the winner will go on to the British title, the loser will definitely come again. But we've been with them both, and even I can't call it. It's a complete 50-50. It's Chelly only knows one way, which is come forward. Jermaine Brown is a fantastic boxer on the back foot. He's a technical boxer, and as I say, I've been with them both, and credit for both guys to get in the ring, and that's what the fans want to see. And that is a very, very interesting 50-50 all British fight with a lot on the line.
Also on that card, Vidal Riley returns, and also the debut of Lauren Price. So quick word on those two.
Lauren Price. Most decorated amateur probably we've ever seen. She wants to become a world champion faster than anyone. She wants to become a multi-weight world champion faster than anyone. Perfect time for women's boxing. She'll be looking at Taylor Serrano. She'll be seeing Shields Marshall. And for the first time, probably she can have those dreams of where she can get to. And I spoke to her after Taylor Serrano. I said, that's where you've got to be. That's why we wanted to make sure that we invested in the women's sport before anyone else in the past 12 months. And they're seeing it now, the opportunity's there, and she'll be looking at those major fights and thinking, that is me. And she's debuting on Saturday. She's debuting on June the 11th. And I think a lot of fighters a lot of fans will be very, very interested to see how she does. Fantastic talent. Obviously, Vidal Riley back on the card as well. Big numbers, that guy, and really, really talented. And there's almost, the reason I have respect for him is he could genuinely make millions outside of the ring, and he's decided to scale it all back and go back to what he loves, and that is the sport of boxing, and fair play to him. And everyone in boxing knows that he's a very, very talented boxer, and we're going to see a lot of him in the cruiserweight division in the next months and years.
We look forward to June 11th. That's that card dealt with. Tune into Sky Sports for that one. You got a card on June 25th, also live on Sky Sports. Quick word on that, please, Ben.
Yeah, it's a new concept. We've invested a lot in the talent, in the younger talent. Adam Azim will fight for a World Youth title. Carrie Sartingstall, also bronze medalist at Tokyo Olympics, will debut. Very excited about her. I think she's going to suit the pro ranks perfectly. Corey and Dylan, Chima, won the Boxer Series. They'll be on in the Midlands. And Sam Eggington, who I watched plenty of times over the past few years, now finally gets his IBO world title, which is an opportunity, which is a big deal for him, and he's fighting an unbeaten Polish guy who by all accounts is ferocious and coming to win as well, and extremely stubborn. And we've seen Sam in Fight of the Year twice, and we were coming to the Midlands, and we thought, you know what, let's give him his opportunity and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, that's actually a really interesting card. So June 25th, then we hope July 2nd we will be able to announce Hunter versus Fury, which is a 50-50. It's a crossroads fight. We've been looking for opponents for Hughie for a long time. He was ordered against Hellenius. Hellenius didn't want the fight. There were plenty of fight offers that we made to plenty of fighters, and not many fighters want to fight Hughie. And I believed in him. I felt sorry for him in terms of himself being overlooked. He's 27 years old, and finally he's got the opportunity. And it's another tough fight. It's another fight that not many fighters would take. Michael Hunter, I remember when he came out of the 2012 Olympics, and people thought really highly of him then. And you've seen now with Martin Bacoli how good that fighter is. And it's a crossroads fight. It's one that the winner will face Daniel Dubois against Brian. So there's a lot on the line, and that's a really interesting fight. Hoping it comes on July 2nd. Hoping that is Ben Whitaker's debut as well, and Caroline Dubois on the card as well. So really busy June. June 11th, June 25th, hopefully July 2nd. Really strong end to what is our calendar year, and obviously for Sky they've got Better BF Joe Smith Jr. in June. They've got Devin Haney against Kambosos. It's almost every week, and when we came in, we knew that they had to have those big international fights. Whilst we built our stable, whilst we put on our domestic cards, we know fans want to see. They want to see the British guys, and they also want to see the big unifications, and it's a big month.
So July 2nd in Manchester, I'm correct, we're looking at the potential debut of Ben Whitaker, a great heavyweight fight in Hughie Fury and Michael Hunter, and also Caroline Dubois on the card.
Yes, and Hassan Azim, Adam Azim's brother, who sort of goes under the radar as well. He'll be on that card. So it's a big card for us, obviously, hoping to get Brad Ray out as well. He's ready to step up. But Hunter Fury, I promise you, for anyone that knows boxing, there's so much on the line for those two guys. It's a big fight, and it's a big June, and it finishes a strong year.
Ben, what's the latest on Shields and Marshall?
Shields Marshall, both fighters have signed. We're ready to go. It's going to be September the 3rd or September the 10th. It's going to be in the UK, and I can't wait. You know, we made those signings back in October, one of our first signings, and we've seen Savannah go from strength to strength, almost middle of the cards, overlooked in my opinion, and that's why we were so desperate to get her. I genuinely believe she's a pound-for-pound star. I think she's a national treasure. You know, I genuinely think she is one of the most talented fighters, the biggest puncher potentially we've ever seen in women's boxing, and she now gets her opportunity against widely considered the greatest woman of all time. And who can argue with 2 gold medals, and who can argue with multi-weight world champion? You know, she's done so much at 26 years old, 27 years old, Clarissa Shields, and it's a massive fight. The rivalry is there. You know, I don't want to compare the two with Taylor Serrano. That was a massive fight, and something that we really, really, were inspired by, to be honest, to see how big women's sport can be. And we think Shields Marshall in the UK is going to be the same. And yeah, can't wait.
Press conference soon?
Very soon. probably one in the US first. Clarissa obviously demands a lot of attention out there, and then back in London.
Just to close off, Ben, you've committed so much to the sport already in terms of Boxer and Sky Sports. You've tapped up the majority of the Olympians, so many young fighters, promising young fighters in your stable. There have been suggestions that you are overpaying fighters and that in a few months you're not going to be as committed to the sport financially in terms of Boxer and Sky. So can you make any comment on that, please, Ben?
Anyone that knows me or knows the business, we started in 2017 and we were under the radar. We knew that was how we had to be to even get our opportunity, and we're invested in the long term, and that's why we are choosing where to invest our money. We're not overpaying. We're not. I think a lot of it is being made for that. We are being competitive, but it's because we believe in the future and we're choosing where to invest our money. We think wisely. There's certain fighters that we really believe in, and there's certain fighters that we think could thrive on the box office platform and Sky platform, and we've made sure that we got them. But I don't think we're overpaying. I think part of the reason is not just the money. They want to be on Sky. Like, they want to be on Sky Sports, and they've also now, and the reason probably they waited is they needed to see we could do box office events, they needed to see we could do big shows, they needed to see we could be consistent, they needed to see that we were honest people, and yeah, I mean, of course we're investing in the future, but it's not going to stop. We're very, very committed to this sport, so is Sky Sports, and it's a long road, it's a long journey. You know, I'm 28 years old, our team are young. Like, we're not here to cash out today, we're here to invest in the future, we're here to try and make some sort of mark on the sport and leave it in a better place, and we're here for the long term. So yeah, obviously delighted to get talents like we have done, but yeah, I don't believe we're overpaying. I think we just know who we want.
Ben Shalom, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. It's England-Italy in the football on June 11th, and then it's England-Italy in the ring with Riak Tershi at Wembley Arena.
Stop. I'm pretty sure the football's now behind closed doors in the Molineux, which is perfect. Obviously great for us, but yeah, England-Italy both nights. I'm pretty sure that's behind closed doors.
Well, that's another Ben Shalom exclusive in this interview, but Riak Tershi at Wembley Arena. England-Italy twice on June 11th. Tune into Sky Sports for Riak v Tershi and the rest of the card. All right, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.